Right. So good morning, friends. And as we know, we're going to be today doing with about 70% theoretical topics and about 30% of program execution. So let's start with today's session. So friends, first, I had given you some reading work yesterday of page number 105 onwards up till page 115. So if you had got any doubts, please make sure that while I'm explaining, you should ask me your doubts also on the chat. And once your doubt you put it on the chat, then I will bring you to audio and you can ask me. So let's look at the logical operators. We have three logical operators: and, or, and not. And all are straightforward. And operator says if both the expressions or both the conditions are true, the output is going to be successful or true. Or operator says if any one expression is true, the output is going to be true. And logical not operator does exactly reverse. If the condition is true, he'll make it false. If the condition is false, he'll make it true. Next, shortcut evaluation means what? Friends, all of us know this very basic thing, that in the AND operator, if any one condition is false, the output is bound to be false. So AND operator or logical operator AND says that what is the use of I checking or evaluating the second condition here? क्या use है इस second condition को check करने का? Because if I notice the first condition is false, so it is irrespective or immaterial. Whatever is the second condition, I repeat, it is irrespective. Whatever is the second condition, the output is going to be false only. So the AND operator in JavaScript works like a shortcut evaluation. He's smart. He will not shortcut evaluation. He is smart. He is not going to go ahead checking the second expression if the first expression is false. He will straight declare the answer is false. Next shortcut. OR operator is also shortcut. Means if the first condition is true, the logical OR operator will not evaluate. वो एक्सप्रेशन को सॉल्व ही नहीं करेगा. यहाँ पर जो भी एक्सप्रेशन आपने दिया उसको वो सॉल्व ही नहीं करेगा. He will straight declare the answer to be true, because let this expression be anything, answer is going to be true. 6 examples. I would be keen to take up the tricky cases because I want you to remember them. Friends, when it comes to JavaScript, remember, any not null data, any not null data is always considered as true. Any not null data is always considered as true. Therefore, if I notice here, in this case, A7 is a variable. So A7 is equal to, I've written cat ANDed with false, and similarly for A6 I've written false ANDed with cat. So what does logical AND says? Logical AND says that if my first expression itself is false, I am not bothered to check the second expression. देखता ही नहीं है यहाँ पर क्या लिखा है. He will straight declare the answer to be false. According to the rule, this is correct. Next, what happened in A5 that you got an answer as true? Or how, what makes you feel that answer should be dog? See, cat is a string and it is not null. Cat is a string and it is not null. Null to nahi hai na wo. It is not null. It exists. The word cat is as a string exists. Whether I put cat or whether I put abc, it doesn't make a difference. There is a string existing. So this string exists. Therefore, it is so, and basically converts it internally as a true. Dog is a string existing, so he considers as true. So then why dog is coming in the output? Why not true? People ask this. Okay. See, the AND gate is saying that if the first expression is true, it will take its decision according to the second expression. मान लो अगर यहाँ पर dog नहीं होता तो यहाँ पर false में लिखता specifically, तो आउटपुट में क्या आता? False आता, जैसे इस केस में आया है A7 के केस में. So although cat is true, but because you're ANDing with false, therefore output is false. That means in logical AND, if the first expression is true, the decision on the basis of what should be the outcome should be made on the second expression. So it's a very clear cut thing that कि आपका जो second expression है उसके बेसिस पर आपको डिसीजन लेना है. Therefore, the second expression was dog. So no wonder we got the output as a dog in this case. Okay, so this is some little, I don't say use tricky cases. They're like smart cases which you have to think smartly in JavaScript. Okay, think about this case, eighth one. अगर आप यहाँ blank लेते हो और blank को आप AND करते हो false से, the problem that happens is that कि you will feel that अरे why am I writing blank in the output? You know, it should have been written false. So blank is a special case. So blank means you're giving a null input. So when you're giving a null input, the AND gate, to be very honest, आगे check ही नहीं करता. AND gate आगे check ही नहीं करता. जो भी input आपने यहाँ दिया है, वो as it is output में दिखा देता है, because he knows that this null state is actually equivalent to false. So he doesn't check ahead. तब actually इस AND gate ने ये expression को देखा ही नहीं. Next. Sir, false AND with OR. First of all, this is syntactically wrong. But still JavaScript runs. Because instead of I have used two operators continuously. See, वैल्यू किधर है, एंड और दोनों ऑपरेटर साथ में यूज कर लिए आपने. अब एक्सप्रेशन तो रॉन्ग है, लेकिन आपको जावास्क्रिप्ट सिंटैक्स एरर नहीं देगा, इंस्टेड आपको फॉल्स रिटर्न करेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि दोस्तों वापस वही रूल, एंड गेट कहता है कि अगर मेरा पहला एक्सप्रेशन फॉल्स है तो मैं आगे देखूंगा ही नहीं, जबकि आगे कुछ नॉनसेंस हमने लिखा है जो सिंटैक्टिकली रॉन्ग है और ऑपरेटर लिखा है हमने, तभी भी वो आगे देखता नहीं है और वो पहले एक्सप्रेशन के बेसिस पर अपना आंसर डिक्लेयर कर देता है. Okay, so I hope these tricky cases from A5 to A9 are clear. Next, I'll give you a chance to ask your doubts, but first listen me for another 2 more minutes also. If I look at the similar cases here, the rule says not null is considered true. बराबर है. So in that situation, I have cat which is not null, I have dog which is not null. So both can be considered as true, right? But what does OR gate says? OR gate says that if the first expression is true, then I will show the first expression in the output. That's what he did. Therefore, he showed cat in the output. Next, look at O8, special case. If you're giving blank, where blank actually means null input and null input means kind of false. So when you're doing a false or with false, or this is null, right? So OR gate says that I didn't get any input from the first expression, so I will take my decision on the basis of the second expression. So whatever is the second expression, is being shown in the output. Therefore, the false comes in the output. Okay. So I hope according to the rule, OR and is clear. Please go ahead. Either you ask your doubt or you will ask me your question on the chat or on audio. And if it's all clear, you will say clear on the chat. अगर आपको क्लियर है तो आप कहोगे क्लियर ऑन द चैट. अगर अनक्लियर है कुछ तो डाउट पूछिए, ऑडियो पर आइए, डाउट पूछिए.
सर
यस, टेल मी.
A5 वाला फिर से रिपीट कीजिए ना.
ओके, A5 किस में, एंड ऑपरेटर में और ऑपरेटर में किस में?
एंड में.
ठीक है. ओके, पटेल कम ऑन ऑडियो. पटेल रेडी हो ऑडियो पर, कुछ सवाल पूछूं? हाँ, पहला मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि as regards to A5, I may write any string here, I may write cat, I may write dog, I may write ABC, I may write anything over here. मुझे पूछना आपसे ये है कि अगर मैं यहाँ कोई भी स्ट्रिंग लिखता हूँ, अगर वो स्ट्रिंग नॉट नल है, तो what does JavaScript considers a not null string? Is he consider it's true or false?
ट्रू ही रिटर्न करेगा.
Perfect. It's considering it to be true. Right. So that means AND gate says that my first expression is evaluating to true. मतलब AND gate का decision किस पर होगा?
एंड गेट का अपना फर्स्ट पे रहेगा.
नो, AND गेट का अगर पहला एक्सप्रेशन ट्रू है तो वो अपना डिसीजन फाइनल आउटपुट क्या देगा, डिपेंड करता है सेकंड एक्सप्रेशन पर. ठीक है, तो सेकंड एक्सप्रेशन जो भी है matlab if it is false, output is going to be false, but if it is true, then whatever is the second expression is going to be shown in the output. Did you understand this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Anybody else with any doubt? Please ask. See, you can only get doubts if you have done the pre-reading work. अगर आप बिना प्री रीड करके आए होगे तो फिर डाउट तो आने का सवाल नहीं उठता. Okay, so I don't see any doubts coming up either on the chat nor on audio. So with that note, I'm moving further. Okay, everybody's saying clear. Good. Okay, now, friends, as regards bitwise operators, they are not so important. So just look at the examples here. Straightforward. I'm going to explain only the not operator here. The not operator basically will do reversing of all the data. So what not operator does, by the way, not operator लिखा कैसे जाता है? आप अपने कीबोर्ड पर अगर देखोगे ना, below the escape key, there is a button which has a symbol like this. इसको बोलते हैं tilde symbol. इसको बोलते हैं tilde symbol. Tilde, Tilde. Okay, tilde symbol. And in the tilde symbol, Tilde, the tilde symbol goes like this. Whatever number we give, the tilde symbol is not operator, in bitwise not operator. जहाँ जीरो होगा वो उसे वन कर देगा, और अगर वन होगा तो उसे जीरो कर देगा. This is what his duty or job is to do. Okay. Now, the funda here is that as regards the tilde operator, if you, let's say if I give you a number like 15, friends, all the integer numbers are indicated in 4 digits representation, 4 byte representation. That means the number is going to have 4 bytes. 4 bytes. Let me make the 4 bytes here. Let me make the 4 bytes here. So this number called 15, which is here, will obviously be having all zeros. Okay, number 15 is very small number, no? So, and in the last binary data is going to have 4 times 0 and 4 times 1. Friends, if I just reverse this number, imagine if I just reverse this number, every 1 will become a 0 and every 0 is going to become a 1. So internally what happens to all the negative numbers, example minus 16, is actually stored in the computer system as a not of 15. Minus 10 is stored as a not of 9. What does this mean? This means that if you want to hold a number like minus 16, you can get minus 16 by taking a tilde of n minus 1. So n is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. So tilde of 15. Bitwise not of 15 is actually minus 16. If you take a bitwise not of 15 and print it in JavaScript, आपको आउटपुट minus 16 दिखेगा. अगर आप टिल्ड मतलब bitwise not लोगे 9 का और उस नंबर को प्रिंट करोगे जावास्क्रिप्ट में, तो आपको जो नंबर आउटपुट में मिलेगा वो -10 होगा. ऐसा इसके लिए होता है बिकॉज जावास्क्रिप्ट and even other programming languages like C, C++ also represent the negative number by one's complement of it. In case if you're unaware about one's complement, then don't worry about it. You can consider it to be a light thing, and only remember this thing, that if you ever want to show a negative number, if you want to show minus n, then I would request you to take a tilde of n minus 1. Tilde means bitwise not of n minus 1. So tomorrow if you say I want to show minus 72, I would tell you take a bitwise not of 72 minus 1, that is 71. So you're taking a bitwise not of 71. Okay? So if you want to print minus 72, you can take a bitwise not of minus 71. This is the way computer system stores your number. Okay, so you haven't to worry about it. You can say, okay sir, why should I do? I'll directly print minus 72. Yeah, of course, welcome. मैं तो खाली आपको बता रहा हूँ कि कंप्यूटर सिस्टम में अगर आपको कोई नेगेटिव नंबर जब जावास्क्रिप्ट जनरेट करता है ना, तो वो इस तरीके से जनरेट करता है. ओके, As such, there is not much application of bitwise not or bitwise operators for us. Friends, yesterday we did an operator, instance of operator, new operator. Now let's start with delete. It's a very simple thing to remember. Any variable which you declare, any variable which you declare, example, I declare a variable like x which is holding 42. I declare another variable by using the var keyword. I have declared or made an object of type number, and in this object of type number I'm adding some property called h with the value 4. Friends, you know what happens when you actually make a number object or you make any object by writing new? It goes to the computer memory and books a space. Now in this space it's on you. You can add as many attributes as you want to. तो मैं यहाँ पर एक एट्रीब्यूट ऐड कर रहा हूँ h, और उसमें मैंने जो वैल्यू स्टोर की हुई है वो है 4. Similarly, now look opposite. The step number 1, 2, 3, 4 केवल variables बना रहा था, and because you're making the variables, that means in the computer memory some space was being occupied. So space is occupied for x, space is occupied for y, space is being occupied for the number object. Now I want to remove those spaces. मुझे वो spaces नहीं चाहिए, मुझे वो variable x नहीं चाहिए. हाँ सर यूज मत कीजिए. हाँ मैं भले यूज ना करूँ, अगर कोई मुझे कहता है एकदम लेम एंड इनोसेंट स्टाइल में कोई स्टूडेंट मुझे कहता है रॉकी सर आपको वेरिएबल नहीं चाहिए तो आप यूज मत करो. देखिए मुझे वेरिएबल नहीं चाहिए, यूज नहीं करूँ वो ठीक है, लेकिन अब मेमोरी में जगह तो ले रहा है ना. मैं अपने कंप्यूटर की मेमोरी वेस्ट क्यों करूँ अननेसेसरी वेरिएबल्स के ऊपर? Shouldn't I remove these variables as they are not no longer being used? Yes, we should. Then, therefore, to remove unused variables, delete operator is used. So with delete, I can have lots of forms. So delete x is going to delete the variable x. Delete y will look what happens when delete y happens. When you say delete y, it returns to you false. Where false means cannot delete the variable. Why? Now, this is a facility in JavaScript. In a script, if you have declared any variable by using the var keyword, then you cannot delete it by using the delete operator. So then this variable will remain. Yes, I'm sorry to say, it will remain. This variable will only go out of the memory when your script ends. आपका जब script successfully खत्म हो जाएगा तभी ये variable memory से बाहर निकलेगा. तब तक ये variable जमा पड़ा रहेगा आपके memory में. He will always be there. Next, you forget 7th. Look at 8th one. Delete myObject.h. सर ये ट्रू रिटर्न करता है जी. डिलीट फंक्शन इधर रिटर्न्स ट्रू और फॉल्स. ट्रू मतलब काम हो गया, फॉल्स मतलब काम नहीं कर सका. सो ट्रू मीन्स द ऑब्जेक्ट्स प्रॉपर्टी एच कुड गेट डिलीटेड. ऑब्जेक्ट डिलीट नहीं हुआ है, ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर जो प्रॉपर्टी एच है वो डिलीट हुई. और अगर मैंने ऐसा लिखा हाँ तो फिर पूरा ऑब्जेक्ट डिलीट हो जाएगा. दोनों में अंतर है. यहाँ पर आप ऑब्जेक्ट की एक प्रॉपर्टी को डिलीट कर रहे हैं. ये ऑब्जेक्ट है, उसमें एक प्रॉपर्टी एच है, उसको डिलीट कर रहे हैं. ऑब्जेक्ट अभी भी है, भली खाली हो लेकिन ऑब्जेक्ट है. और सेकेंड केस में आप ऑब्जेक्ट को भी डिलीट कर रहे हो. पूरा ऑब्जेक्ट आपने वॉश आउट, पूरा ऑब्जेक्ट आपने गायब कर दिया, वॉश आउट कर दिया. Right? So I hope this is going extremely very clear. Now let me look at this part. And who can answer this? डिलीट जब मैं कर रहा हूँ math.py को तो मुझे फॉल्स आंसर आता है. यहाँ रीजन लिखा है मैंने. प्लीज मुझे बता सकते हो रीजन से क्या समझा आपको?
सर math.py एक predefined property है.
Correct. Math.py is a predefined property because math is a predefined class in JavaScript and py is a predefined property. ऐसे ही अगर अलाउ किया यूजर को predefined properties डिलीट करते जाओगे तो JavaScript का सब कुछ डिलीट हो जाएगा. So something which are predefined are not deletable. Now, that's either you have a doubt. Yeah, Dubey, please go ahead.
So the y one, what is the right syntax to delete y there? Yeah.
You cannot delete y because y has been declared by using a var variable. Anything which is declared as the var variable cannot be deleted.
Okay.
That is the reason that if you are very clear in your programming and you are clear with this concept, if you wish to delete a variable later on, you will declare it without the var keyword. And if you declare the variable by the var keyword, that means you don't want the variable to be deleted during the course of the program. Only when the program ends, this variable will automatically, which variable? The one declared to the var keyword will automatically be deleted.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Uh, Please make sure that the page 114 should have been gone through by all the people at least twice. I gave you this as a pre-read matter, but I would like to only solve any doubts which is on this page because everything is clearly explained on this page. Still, you don't have a doubt today because you haven't read it, no problem. So you can ask me tomorrow. Type operator we have done. 116 is a home assignment for today. It says home assignment date. आज का date आएगा. Let's come to the void operator. Now, friends, void basically means something which is having vacuum. कोई चीज अगर खाली रहती है, बिल्कुल empty खाली है, तो उसको हम void कहते हैं. So we said it's a void operator. So void operator could probably be used in a very special case. You can use void operator to specify an expression as a hypertext link. As a hypertext link, the expression is evaluated. The expression is evaluated, but it is not loaded in place of the current document. Sounds confusing? Look here. What I have done is I have used an anchor tag. Href is equal to JavaScript void 0. Now, if I look at this very carefully, anchor tag href equal to JavaScript void 0, then what I'm doing here is basically is I'm writing that this anchor tag is going to take the control nowhere. ये किसी पेज के पास कंट्रोल लेके नहीं जाएगा. So if I click here on this link, this anchor tag will do nothing, but this will look like an anchor tag, but वो करेगा कुछ नहीं. It's like a dead link आपके सामने. Look at this example. href javascript colon void document.form.submit means if I click on this link, the form in which I am, it will get submitted. There's a very smart way of coding. Normally what we do, is we actually code a button. Normally what we do is that we code a button like this. We code a button and we write submit. Now friends, because we are coding a button and we are writing submit, so it is very natural that if you click on the submit button, the form in which you are, will get submitted. Now the point here is, can I submit the form without creating the button? Yes, you can. कैसे? ऐसे. So you can create a anchor tag जिसमें ये लिखा रहेगा click here to submit, और उसको अगर आपने क्लिक किया तो void says मैं आपको कुछ रिटर्न नहीं करूंगा, but I will do the work for you. And the work is document.form. Document means the whole web page. Form मतलब उसके अंदर जो form है. Submit मतलब submit करना है form को. So the form is going to get submitted to whichever action page or whichever PHP page you are trying to call. So this is another smart way of submitting the form without making a submit button. Next, we come into something called a JavaScript rumbus. Now friends, all of us are quite grown enough to understand that rumbus can be in different forms. It could be a number with decimal points, that's a floating point number. It could be without decimal points, so it's a whole or integer number. The number could also be written in scientific notation like this, where E means 10. So E5 would correspond to 10 raised to 5. e raised to minus 5 would correspond to 10 raised to minus 5. So why will I use scientific notation? Good question. See friends, when the numbers are too long or too small, there are too big numbers or too small of a numbers. Example, if I ask you to represent this number 0.00053, it becomes very troublesome to write as a huge number 0.00053. It would be easier if I can write like this 0.53. How many digits did I move further? 1, 2, 3. E raised to minus 3. You have to write raised to, you have to write e minus 3 like this, e minus 5. ऐसे कैसे लिखा है मैंने? Exactly वैसे. So this is the number and this number and this number are equivalent. ये दोनों same है. So 0.53 e minus 3 actually corresponds to 0.53 into e into 10 raised to minus 3, to be honest. So ये दोनों जो numbers आपको दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पर और यहाँ पर, ये दोनों numbers बिल्कुल same हैं. Okay, so it becomes easier for us to represent very long, clumsy, very small numbers or very big numbers in this particular format. It becomes always easy. Next, friends, if the numbers begin with a symbol called 0, remember, then it's an octal number. An octal number, अगर आपको किसी को ऑक्टल नंबर और हेक्साडेसिमल नंबर सिस्टम नहीं पता तो मेरी आपको हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट होगी कि लेक्चर के बाद प्लीज गूगल करके थोड़ा सा जानकारी इन पर ले लेना, in case if you do not know. Octal number system goes from or has digits only from 0 to 7. An hexadecimal number system has digits from 0 to F. So in JavaScript, if you want to represent a number as octal, then you can represent the number beginning with 0. So a number beginning with 0 is an octal number. But to be very honest, like 8 is not a digit of octal system, no? So you see what comment I have written. 888 would be passed as decimal number system only. Why? Because 8 can't come in octal, my friend. But if I write 0777, 777 is going to be passed or understood by JavaScript as octal system only. और अगर आपने 0777 दिया और आप किसी वेरिएबल को 0777 देते हो, एग्जाम्पल यू आर सेइंग x इज इक्वल टू 0777 और फिर आप कहते हो डॉक्यूमेंट डॉट राइट x, यू वांट टू प्रिंट x. जब प्रिंट करने जाओगे ना तो आउटपुट में ये आएगा. सर ये कैसे आ गया? Friends, you can assign octal number system, but when you go to print it on the browser only understands one number system, that is decimal, which is normally what we use, in which digits will range from 0 to 9. So when you print it, basically the computer system or browser is actually converting, not browser, actually JavaScript is converting this number from octal base to decimal base. Decimal base is 10, octal base is 8. Remember, I'm not teaching you here octal and binary number system. That is not the job of this particular course. It is expected that all of you are aware about these 4 number systems. If you're not aware, then please read it. Read in generic about these number systems. And make sure that you go through this slide number 119 and 119 so that you know how these numbers are represented. A quick recap on this. If the number is binary number, then you would start it with 0b. कोई भी नंबर अगर 0b से शुरू होता है, 0b से अगर कोई भी नंबर शुरू होता है, then that number is a binary number. If the number starts with 0, that means it's octal base. If the number starts with 0x, it's hexadecimal. So there are simple ways to represent a number. Next. In JavaScript, friends, a number can easily be converted from one form to another by using the method called toString. That means if you want to convert, see normally if I write like this, var my number equal to 128, remember this number is in decimal base. So that is a default base. Simple. This number which is in decimal base now, if you want to convert this number to hexadecimal base, then I will write my number dot to string 16, which will actually convert the number to hexadecimal base, which is 80. If I convert the number to 8, then I'm converting the number into octal base. That means 128 in decimal will be 200 in octal. And last, if I write 2 string 2, I'm converting the number into binary form. So 128 in decimal will be 1 and with so many zeros in binary format. Right. So 2 string is a function by which you can quickly convert the number from decimal base to hexadecimal, octal, or binary. Next, many programming languages don't have support for infinity, but JavaScript supports infinity. JavaScript says that if you divide any number by 0 or a negative number by 0, I will show in the output infinity or minus infinity. In fact, to your surprise, if you do type of infinity, टाइप ऑफ ऑपरेटर जो आपने कल पढ़ा, अगर उसके ऊपर आप टाइप ऑफ इन्फिनिटी करोगे तो आप खुद मतलब यू विल बी हैप्पी टू नो दैट आउटपुट कम्स एज नंबर. दैट मीन्स टाइप ऑफ इन्फिनिटी. सो infinity has a data type and it's number. Hence, up till this point, are things going clear? Yes or no? Very nice. Okay. Now, look at this very simple key difference. Friends, I can actually create or store numbers in JavaScript in two ways. First, I can declare numbers normally, var x equal to 123, or you can even skip var and just write x equal to 123. So declaring a normal number holding the value 123. Second option, you can create an object. You can create an object, and this particular object is a new number. So you're creating a number object called y, and you're putting data into it as 123. But sir, if I print y or if I print x, answer will be same. Yes. You print y, you will see 123. You print x, you will see 123. So if you look at superficially, अगर आप output की तरफ देखोगे तो दोनों same दिखेगा. But अगर आप output की तरफ देखोगे तो दोनों same दिखेगा. But internally, the variable x is taking much lesser space, and variable y is taking more space, and therefore the variable y, which takes more space, is actually an object. But then, sir, there's no sense of making an object. It's taking more space. You're wasting memory space. I fully agree with you that I'm wasting memory space. I fully agree with you. But I'm sure if we are wasting a little more space for holding y, there would definitely be some advantage of it. That why JavaScript is allowing you to make a variable called x holding the value 123 as well make an object called y which is a number object also holding 123. कोई तो advantage होगा फिर object बनाने का. जी बिल्कुल कोई तो advantage होना चाहिए. Let us see. If I move further, I have again one more example. Variable x ordinary variable, variable y is an object. ये बहुत छोटी चीज है लेकिन याद रखना है इसे प्लीज. अगर आप कंपैरिजन करते हो, this is called comparison. This is called strict comparison. Look at the difference. In the first case, this is normal comparison in which you're writing double equals to operator. If you write triple equals to operator, then it becomes a strict comparison. It becomes a strict comparison. So if you do a normal comparison, your answer is going to be true because x and y always have equal values. As you could see, x is 500, y is 500. Because they have equal values, only the values are being compared. If I do normal equal to operator, ऐसा लिखा मैंने. लेकिन अगर मैं 3 बार equal to लिखता हूँ, and this is called as strict comparison or strict equal to. So the strict comparison or the strict equal to answer is false. Why? Because when you do strict comparison, it first compares the data type of both the variables, that is x and y. You'll say, sir, it is same, it is a number. No. The data type of the variable x is a number type, but the data type of y is an object because you made y by using a new operator. See this. Anything which is made by new operator, remember it's an object. Sir, it is a number object. That is okay, but ultimately it's an object. No, ये object है क्या? X object है क्या? नहीं है. Y object है, हाँ sir. तो x और y का type तो फिर different हो गया. ये object नहीं है और ये object है. उसके लिए वो आंसर आपको false देता है. मतलब ये दोनों same type का data नहीं है. भले content same हो 123, लेकिन दोनों का type same नहीं. Okay. Next. Another very simple but important thing. I have made two objects. As you can see, X number object holding 500, Y number object holding 500. It is surprising, no? Even if I do a normal comparison between X and Y, both are of the same type, both are holding the same value 500. Still, the answer is false. Surprising. Still, the answer is false. Why? Because by rule, objects cannot be compared. जो रूल है जावास्क्रिप्ट का वो हमको रिस्पेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. Objects cannot be compared because technically what happens is ये दोनों objects जो है ना जावास्क्रिप्ट ने मेमोरी में उनको अलग अलग जगह देके रखी हुई है. So both the objects in the computer's memory are stored at two different locations. Now because they are stored in two different locations, therefore, I repeat, therefore, it is important for us to understand that when you do a normal comparison between them by using double to equal to operator, what actually happens is their address is being compared. Their content is not compared. Their addresses are compared. So suppose if the address of x is 1000, hypothetical address 1000, and the address of y is 2000. Assume करो कि कंप्यूटर के मेमोरी में hypothetically x पड़ा है एड्रेस 1000 पर और y पड़ा है एड्रेस 2000 पर. तो ये दोनों एड्रेसेस तो सेम नहीं है ना? नहीं सर, नहीं है. No wonder I get an answer as false. So when I say objects cannot be compared, I mean to say that the content of the objects cannot be compared. So when you compare an object, actually its addresses are getting compared, which is of no use for us. Therefore, we get the answer as false. I hope this is clear. I'm asking some impromptu questions. Please be quick on the chat. Be quick on the chat. I want everybody to answer. My first question. How do you write symbolically strict comparison? How do you write symbolically strict comparison? Correct. Vishwajit, Dubey, Pratik, Patel, Vinayak, everybody correct. You write triple equal to. Very good. Next. When two objects are compared, what is compared? Their values or their addresses? Correct. Right. Everybody is going correct. Their addresses are compared. Fantastic. Next question that will come to your mind is, okay sir, object बनाने का क्या जरूरत है? Compare नहीं कर पा रहे. ज़्यादा स्पेस लेता है। रंबर का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने का ये फ़ायदा होता है कि अगर आपको कभी भी ज़रूरत पड़ी तो आप ये सब प्रॉपर्टीज़ यूज़ कर सकते हैं। एग्जाम्पल, रंबर डॉट मैक्स वैल्यू is actually capable to find in your type of browser. So you may use different browsers. Somebody may use Chrome, somebody may use Opera, somebody may use Safari, somebody may use Microsoft Internet Explorer, somebody may use Microsoft Edge. So you could use some browser, and all the browsers have different ranges of max value. All the browsers have different ranges of max value. Next, you can also use some very basic methods like parse float to convert input into float, parse int to convert input into integer. You could check whether the number is infinity or finite. You could check whether the input number is an integer or not. If it's floating point, then is integer will give you false, and there is no floating point, is integer will give you true. Next, अगर आपका number है ही नहीं, example, you have given me a string ABC and I'm asking you to check. I asked you your age and you entered ABC. आपको मैंने age पूछा आपका और आपने ABC एंटर किया, सिस्टम तो ले लेगा ना, सिस्टम सॉरी सोचेगा, इनपुट ब्राउजर तो बेचारा ले लेगा, लेकिन जब ब्राउजर ने इनपुट या एबीसी ले लिया तब तो चेक कर लो कोड में यूजर ने जो इनपुट दिया है वो नंबर है कि नहीं. हाउ विल यू चेक दैट? इज नॉट अ नंबर. दोस्तों, अगर इज नॉट अ नंबर ट्रू आंसर देता है जो देगा, एबीसी के केस में इज नॉट अ नंबर आपको ट्रू आंसर देगा, which means that the input is not a number. So you can actually check whether your input is a number or not a number by using is nan. Very powerful method. Okay.
हेलो
Yeah. Somebody has a doubt? Please go ahead.
सर आपने कल बताया था कि जावास्क्रिप्ट में सर कोई नंबर और इंटीजर नहीं होता है, ऑल things are numbers.
Exactly. All things are number in terms of data type. As data type is concerned, everything is a number. So if I take a data type of 24, I'll get it's a number. I take a data type of 24.5, it's also a number. But when you're accepting the input, so a number knows that it could exist in two forms. Either it could be an integer or it could be a floating number. So number has two types. So you're getting confused. You're comparing data types with its internal types. So if I find the data type of, let's say, x is holding 24 and y is holding 24.5, अगर मैं x और y का data type find करूंगा तो मुझे एक ही आंसर आएगा, number. But this number internally can hold data of type integer as well as data of type float. So if I want to further check that whether my input you have accepted, let's say you're accepting the input of age, and somebody enters in the age 24, and if I use is integer तो मुझे इसका आंसर true आएगा. इस integer function अगर मैंने यूज किया तो मुझे इसका आंसर true आएगा because this is a whole number. On the other hand, if I enter 24.4, then 24.4, I'm sorry to say, is not a whole number. It's a decimal, it's a floating point number, and therefore is integer is going to give me the answer as false. Right, so is your doubt getting cleared?
Yes, sir.
Right, yeah. Don't mistake in between data type and the different forms of numbers. Forms अलग होता है, data type अलग होता है. Data type of number of whether it's a floating point, whether it's integer. Data type is only number, but its internal form or format can be integer or floating point. Okay, now friends, coming into very simple, super simple thing which we have used probably 10 times by now is JavaScript has for conditional checking statements the following ways: if else. You can make a series of decision making steps by using if else, and last is switch, where switch corresponds to switching between various values. So what you can do with basically if else if, you can do it by using switch also. Now, this particular code which I had asked, given yesterday as a assignment, let me see how many people could decode with this code. Come on, who would like to volunteer to explain this code? Please come forward.
So Dubey, yeah.
Yeah, Dubey, please tell me.
So here we have created a function JS clock. It's in JS clock. We have taken four variables. First is new variable time. That is, we are going to create a new date, an object in it,
Mhm.
and after that, we are taking three variables from the system, which is variable r is equal to time dot get us, and in get us it will return the hours that's going in the system right now. Same goes
Okay.
with minute as well as second. Now we have created a temporary variable
Okay. Now,
where
I'm
we have,
I'm interrupting you for a minute, Dubey. Please let's assume whatever is the date today. I think today is 3rd Feb, so it's going to be 3/2/21, 2021, and just assume time right now is around 10:18, but I'm assuming the time right now is 9:10 second. 9:10 seconds. So it is going to be a variable r is going to be 9, minute is going to be 1, and second is going to be 0. Okay,
yes.
this is my assumption. Right. Please proceed.
Now, instead of taking the real hour or time,
Hmm.
it will go to it. We have created a new variable temp where we have emptied the first space. Plus, we are giving the r if r is less than 12, like here 9 is less than 12. Then, like we have said, if the condition is true, then we don't need to we don't need sorry, here the condition is true, hence it will go to the right part, not the left part of the is true.
Correct.
So it will
So,
directly print.
so Dubey, are you trying to say that r greater than 12, 9 greater than 12 कंडीशन फेल हो गया, तो ये कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर आपके सामने है जिसमें
यस सर, अगर ट्रू होता तो जैसे ट्रू होता, अगर सर 14 होता तो मैं 14 माइनस 12 दैट इज आर इक्वल्स टू 2 हो जाता सर, बट अगर
करेक्ट
आर 12 से कम है तो इट बिकेम 9 एज इट इज, लाइक इट
करेक्ट
डिडंट कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड विद 12.
बिल्कुल सही। तो कंडीशन अगर ट्रू होगा तो आप ट्रू पार्ट में जाओगे, जो क्वेश्चन मार्क के बाद होता है और कोलन के पहले होता है, और अगर कंडीशन फॉल्स आया तो आप सीधा कोलन के बाद फॉल्स पार्ट में चले जाओगे। इस केस में 9 क्योंकि 12 से ज़्यादा नहीं है, तो हम सीधा चले गए फॉल्स पार्ट। जो आर की वैल्यू है 9 उसको एज इट इज़ रखा है हमने और टेम्प में कॉन्कैट किया है। अब दोस्तों, अगर आप टेम्प पे कोई चीज़ कॉन्कैट करते हो तो एक काम करते हैं हम यहाँ पर एक टेम्परेरी टेम्प वेरिएबल बना देते हैं और सोचते भी रहते हैं कि इसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें आती जा रही है स्लो स्लो करके। सो पहले इसमें चीज़ जो आई है वो है स्पेस फॉलोड एंड 9 देन। ठीक है, बिल्कुल सही। अब बताइए और आगे। यस, इफ आर इक्वल टू 0।
सर अभी हमने एक लूप स्टार्ट किया दैट इफ आर इक्वल्स टू 0, इफ मतलब द टाइम इज ईदर मॉर्निंग 12 और इन द नाइट ऑफ 12, then m will take the value 12. That's it, sir. If value, yeah, the loop
सो
will be
व्हाट इज आर वैल्यू फॉर अस राइट नाउ?
for us right now it's 9
राइट।
o'clock. 9 uh, 9 o'clock, yes.
So
So
obviously
it won't
9
go to
equal to 0 तो है नहीं, therefore it's going to get skipped and we come into this particular step. Right.
now in the
Now,
next step.
yeah, now before you start, Dubey, let me tell you that temp plus equal to means whatever calculation you're doing here or you're concatenating it with temp.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, so for friends, especially for Patel, who is from non-technical background, Patel, if you write temp is equal to temp concat with something here, इसको आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं कि temp shortcut form temp plus equal to that part which you want to concat here. So temp equal to temp plus something which you want to concat can be written in shortcut form as temp plus equal to whatever part you want to concat. और वही चीज exactly हमने यहाँ पर हम देख रहे हैं। ठीक है? So now what I will do is just delete this part here so that the space is free for us to do any kind of work. Yes, I'm back to Dubey. Dubey, you will continue with your explanation.
Sir, now in the temp part, we have also created that if a true or false statement again. Now here, like we have a minute one. So if the minute is less than 10, it will directly print the left side of the issue, that is 0. So the value will be 9 is to 01 and
Correct. So
plus
9 colons. Yeah. So 9 colon 0 came because of this operator. Then you concatenate the minute, which is 1. So it's going to be 9 colon 01. Very good. So Dubey, did you analyze that this piece of code is actually going to convert every one digit minute, every one digit minute. That means anything which ranges from 0 to 9, जो एक single digit का होता है, उससे वो convert कर देगा दो digits में.
ये सर आगे 0 लिख देगा उसके एंड फिर वो पीछे उसका जो एक्चुअल वैल्यू है वो डाल देगा 0 to 9 के बीच वाला.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Same concept is applying to seconds also.
Yes, sir. The same concept goes for second as well. And लास्ट में इन दोनों के प्लस मिनट एंड प्लस सेकेंड वो ऐड कर देगा.
Correct. What is this 11th line going to do?
So in the 11th line, we will check if the value that we have given that is taken from the less equal to 12. If the
Perfect. So,
value is
so,
greater than
hmm. So you're trying to
then
say if it's greater than 12, then it's going to be PM. If not, it's going to be AM. So in this case, it's 9. So what is 9?
so here the statement is getting false, hence it will take the right part of the issue.
Correct. That's going to be AM. So AM will actually come eventually here, and ये जो temp पे final answer आया है, हम return temp कर रहे हैं, मतलब जो भी function JavaScript clock को call करेगा, उसको in hand अभी का समय आ जाएगा in this format, which I think is quite decent and good.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Right. So now, friends, I'm waiting for Vinayak, Biswajit, Patel, Pratik to ask any doubt if there is on the code, any part of the code which is not understandable by them.
Clear, sir.
If it is clear, then please come to audio and say clear, everyone.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Perfect. Good. Right. So now let's look at this as another example over here. JavaScript loops. Uh, in JavaScript, we have these possible loops: for loop, for in, while, and do while. Most commonly used loop is a for in loop. For in, two keywords. Let's take an example here. So friends, I have declared an object. Anything which starts with brace bracket, open and close is an object. So we have an object here in which I have got these following keys. So keys f name, this is the value. Keys l name, this is the value. Keys profession, this is the value. Uh, I want to extract the name, or I want to extract the value of the property f name. f name property की जो value रॉकी है ना, मुझे वो extract करनी है. एल नेम की प्रॉपर्टी की जो वैल्यू है जगतैनी, मुझे वो एक्सट्रैक्ट करनी है. प्रोफेशन प्रॉपर्टी की जो वैल्यू है वेब एंड मोबाइल ट्रेनर, मुझे वो एक्सट्रैक्ट करनी है. तो कैसे करें? इट्स सुपर सिंपल. फॉर एक्स इन पर्सन, फॉर एक्स इन पर्सन, आई एम using the for loop. For loop structure is very simple. Here you're going to give me a temporary variable. After in, I can notice you're going to give me the name of the data structure or the name of the object from where I want to extract values. एक एक करके values में से बाहर निकालूंगा. Now, whenever you give a for loop, any object, whenever you give a for loop, any object, for loop is not smart, he is super smart. Smart नहीं है वो, super smart है. उसको पता होता है कि अगर आपने मुझे एक ऑब्जेक्ट दिया है, so at every point of time he would extract at every point of time he would extract the object colon the value. So the key colon value. एवरी टाइम इज गोइंग टू एक्सट्रैक्ट दिस पेयर. वो केवल एफ नेम नहीं उठाता, केवल रॉकी नहीं उठाएगा, वो दोनों को एक साथ उठाएगा. ही विल पिक अप द की, whether you can say key, whether you say property, whatever your choice is. So if you feel comfortable, no, I want to use the word property, I'll say okay. Property value pair will be picked up every time. So the first property value pair is picked up and come into X. Now, person of X means person of the property F name. Who is that person F name? Sir, Rocky है. कॉन्कैट किससे किया आपने? स्पेस से किया. उसको किस में डंप कर रहे हो? वापस टेक्स्ट वेरिएबल में डंप कर रहे हो. टेक्स्ट हाल फिलहाल एम्प्टी है. So this for loop will run for 3 times because there are only 3 property value pairs in there are 3 property value pairs in person. So first property F name, its value Rocky. Second property L name, its value Jagtiani. Third property profession, its value web and mobile trainer. ये सब चीजें किसमें कॉन्कैट हो रही है दोस्तों? टेक्स्ट में होती जा रही है. So slowly and gradually text would populate and become big, and text is going to have Rocky, Jagtiani, web and mobile trainer if I print it. Okay, right? If you want to try this code, either you can pick it up from the PDF notes and try it, or maybe this code is given in the workspace also as well. So you can pick up the code from the workspace and try it as well later on, not now. These are two simple codes, you can try it yourself. Okay, let us come to at least one code for today. I knew we will be reaching at end of the time, but we have to do at least one code. Hmm? Determining cookie support in client's browser using JavaScript. Now friends, for doing this piece of code, all of us should come to our workspace. Please come to your JavaScript workspace. Please come to your JavaScript workspace. If you have reached to JavaScript workspace, tell me, ready sir. And search for a program file called JavaScript cookies example. JavaScript cookies example. Search कीजिए इस फाइल के. I hope you have got it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes. Please tell me.
Sir, I don't have this file.
Don't have this file. Okay. Wait. So, friends, do you have this workspace? Okay, I'll help Pratik separately, but then others, can you please come on audio and tell me? Do you have this workspace or not?
Yes, sir, I have today.
Okay, you have the workspace. So, have you given him the link of the workspace day before yesterday? The Google Drive link which I have shared with all of you?
Sir, that day I downloaded it, so I think I need to search. I don't know if I
No,
have it right.
the Google Drive link is there on a WhatsApp group, no? तो WhatsApp ग्रुप में थोड़ा ऊपर जाकर आप Google Drive लिंक पिकअप करके प्रतीक को पास कीजिए ना.
Okay.
हम्म. Okay. So, friends, what all of you will do is that don't open the file JavaScript cookies example. Instead, open this file cookie. Please just open the file cookie. There's a file called cookie.html. Please search and open that file. And if you've got that file, say file ready. Okay. Vishwaji says ready. Dubey says ready. Waiting for Pratik, Vinayak, Patel. Okay, I hope I've given enough time, and Vinayak should also be ready by now. Okay, right now let's understand this very simple code. Friends, मैंने dummy variable C use किया है. Any name can be given here. Navigator means the browser. Navigator means browser. So navigator dot p enabled. Now every browser, not only our browser, every browser has a key or an attribute called cookie enabled. This variable cookie enabled, my friends, can either be true or false. मतलब वो यहाँ तो enabled होगा या तो नहीं होगा. अगर enabled होगा तो obviously इस condition का answer navigator dot cookie enabled will be true. Therefore, the answer return value will be true, which will go and sit in the variable CE. Now, if true, then document.write cookies are enabled. Else, cookies are disabled. So, I will notice that if my browser cookies are enabled, I'm going to get this answer, cookies are enabled. And if cookies are not enabled, I'll get the answer, cookies are disabled. Let's see what answer I get. First, watch me carefully. Let me just minimize this because I have to make my browser screen full. Just running the code. Let's have a look. Very well. So I'm getting an answer, cookies are enabled. Of course, cookies have to be enabled. Otherwise, Gmail or Gmail apps will not work. Google apps will not work. If I turn off my, if I show you turning off my cookies enabled right now, which जो मैं करने वाला हूँ अभी, जैसे ही मैं cookies को disable करूँगा, please remember friends, आप लोग मत करना, मैं करूँगा. Moment I say cookies, moment I go to my browser, as you can see on my screen, I'm going to my settings, and under settings, I am going to search for cookies. There's an option called cookies and other site data. Third-party cookies are blocked in incognito mode. That's okay. So there are cookies and other site data. If I go on to this, there is an option called allow all cookies. There is an option called block third-party cookies. That's okay. There is an option called block all cookies also. See, and this part called block all cookies is not recommended. अगर मैंने इसे क्लिक किया दोस्तों तो I will be thrown out of the Google application, that is Google Meet जो आप और मैं अभी यूज कर रहे हैं. I'll be thrown out because all the Google apps, Gmail, Google Drive, they require cookies because cookies are actually holding some information about us called session ID, which we will discuss later on when we come to the relevant chapter, which helps it to authenticate that you are Pratik, you are Patel, you are Rocky, you are Murmay. You know, it is helping you to authenticate that. So moment I select this, block all cookies, not recommended. Remember, I'll be thrown out of Google Meet. तो अभी मत करना. आपने किया या मैंने किया, हम गूगल मीट से बाहर निकल जाएंगे, लेक्चर में नहीं रहेंगे. लेकिन आपको करना क्या, लेक्चर के बाद आप इसको ब्लॉक करोगे और इसी कोड में आकर इसको रिफ्रेश करोगे तो आप देखोगे कुकीज आर डिसेबल्ड करके आउटपुट में आ रहा है. कब करोगे ये, जब आप ब्लॉक करके इस पेज को रिफ्रेश करोगे. लेकिन ब्लॉक मत रखना. कुकीज को ब्लॉक रखा तो जीमेल में, गूगल ड्राइव में, गूगल मीट में वापस लॉग इन नहीं कर पाओगे. सो गो बैक टू सेटिंग्स एंड देन like unblock whatever setting you're giving here, unblock it, or you can choose, this is the right option. Allow all cookies is also recommended, and block third party cookies in incognito mode is also recommended. So either you can choose either the first option or the second option. So I hope this is going very clear to each one. Please confirm with me, yes or no. Okay, very good. Right, so you will try this. There is some theoretical question on the notes. I want you all people to quickly answer. I'm going to tell people to come on audio. for this. Biswajit, please explain the first line of code here. Biswajit.
When you first line it is said the variable ECB could navigator dot cookies enable ternary operator true and false. It is trying to say that the navigator that indicates the browser. So browser navigate indicates the browser. So browser dot operator cookies enable it means that हम लोग नेविगेटर से ब्राउजर से कुकीज को अनेबल कर रहे हैं. डॉट ऑपरेटर मीन्स करंट डायरेक्टरी जो नेविगेटर में हम लोग प्रेजेंट है वहां से कुकीज को अनेबल करना चाह रहे हैं.
ना
अगर
ना
कुकीज
ना
अनेबल
ना ना इनेबल नहीं कर रहे हैं हम चेक कर रहे हैं कि कुकी इनेबल्ड है या नहीं.
हाँ सर वो कुकीज मतलब वो प्रॉपर्टी दे रहे हैं कि
हाँ.
कुकीज अनेबल. तो अगर वो सही होता है तो हम लोग ट्रू की तरफ जाएंगे अदरवाइज हम लोग फॉल्स की तरफ जाएंगे.
परफेक्ट राइट. सो कुकी इनेबल्ड अगर रियली कुकीज इनेबल्ड है ब्राउजर में प्रेजेंटली तो हमें आंसर ट्रू रिटर्न होगा, नहीं है तो फॉल्स रिटर्न होगा. वेरी गुड. ओके, नेक्स्ट पटेल प्लीज कम ऑनलाइन. या पटेल अगर सेटिंग्स में जाकर मैंने डिसेबल कर दिया कुकी सपोर्ट को तो इमीडिएटली क्या होगा, जो हम लोग का सेशन चल रहा है उसमें क्या होगा, क्या असर पड़ेगा?
जी मतलब पूरा कि हमारा ये गूगल का है, गूगल मीटिंग सब जो भी रहेगा ना वो थर्ड पार्टी का जो भी रहेगा ना वो सब बंद हो जाएगा.
करेक्ट
क्योंकि
करेक्ट. सो
क्योंकि हम लोग ये डिसेबल रखा हुआ है.
perfect. Cookie disable रखेंगे and because all the Google apps, all the G apps और Google app application use cookies, तो फिर कोई भी G Google app हमारे ब्राउजर पर काम नहीं करेगा.
काम नहीं करता,
Perfect.
contact नहीं करेगा.
इसके लिए फिर डिसेबल करने के बाद आप जब पेज को रिफ्रेश करोगे तो आपको आपका कोड तो दिखाई देगा जो बोलेगा कि कुकीज आर डिसेबल्ड, लेकिन फिर इमीडिएटली उसके बाद जाकर क्या करना चाहिए हमको?
अनेबल करना चाहिए. वो
Correct.
एक्चुअली ब्राउजर हम लोग को ऊपर टॉप में ये नोटिफाई भी करेगा कि प्लीज अनेबल योर कुकीज.
Correct. Correct. Perfect. Right. So friends, to just give you a quick heads up, tomorrow we will be starting with the topic of exception handling. मैं आपको एक quick heads up दे दूं कि tomorrow's lecture is going to be all exception handling, solving some big problems on it. Then we will be taking the third problem where we're going to create a script. We're going to write a script which allows you to upload files only of types JPG, GIF और PNG. पता है कहाँ देखते हो आप इसको? आप चेक करो फेसबुक पर, आप पीपीटी और पीडीएफ अपलोड नहीं कर सकते. Facebook only allows you to upload some image files. अगर आप वीडियो सेलेक्ट करोगे तो ओनली वीडियो फाइल्स कुछ अलाउ करता है आपको अपलोड करने के लिए. तो हाउ डू यू ब्रिंग दैट रिस्ट्रिक्शन? कैसे लिखते हो कुछ कोड जहां आप लिंक्डइन पर नोटिस कीजिए कि आप हर टाइप का फाइल अपलोड नहीं कर सकते, फेसबुक पर नहीं. एज रिगार्ड्स टू Instagram, no, you can upload only specific type of files. So how do you bring that restriction? That code we're going to do tomorrow. Then how do you ensure some work should happen automatically at a given time? एक डिले आपने दे दिया और डिले के बाद वो काम अपने आप से हो जाएगा. एग्जाम्पल, आई वांट टू सेंड यू एन ईमेल बट आई एम टाइमिंग इट, ईमेल शुड गो 12 PM, अपने आप 12 PM में ईमेल चले जाएगा. कैसे कोड करते हो? सो वी आर गोइंग टू लुक एट दैट बाय यूजिंग द सेट टाइम आउट फंक्शन. देन वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ स्टॉप वॉच, अ वेरी सिंपल स्टॉप वॉच एप्लीकेशन जो आपके मोबाइल फोन्स में रहता है, स्टॉप वॉच. नेक्स्ट we will be learning how to do JavaScript validation. JavaScript is mainly used for validating your input at the front end level. कि कोई भी nonsense input पे ना आए. So we are going to do the validation of first name, last name, email and phone number by learning regex, regular expression, जो थोड़ा मुश्किल concept है JavaScript का. Okay, ये हमारा topics है जो हम कल के lecture में hopefully finish करने चाहिए. Okay, right. So I hope you got a complete heads up of what we've done today and what we'll be doing tomorrow.